Hi guys, today we're going to look at multiplication in the column method. Now we'll start with multiplying with one number and then a double digit and then a triple digit. So for example, if my sum is 123 times 5, I always want you to use the column method, which means you put the big number at the top and the small number underneath it, but remember the unit must go under the unit. That's very important. Then you say 5 times 3 is 15. So you put the 5 and you carry the 1 to the next number. Then you say 5 times 2 is 10 plus that 1 is 11. So you put the 1 and you carry the 1. Then you say 5 times 1 is 5 plus the 1 is 6. And then you are finished because you only have one number to multiply the top number with. Now, if you go to multiplying with a double digit, let's take 213 times, let's say, 12. Again, you do the same thing. You write 213 times, remember, your tens go under the tens and your units go under the units. Now, the same as the first time, we're going to say 2 times 3 is 6. Then we're going to say 2 times 1 is 2. And we are going to say 2 times 2 is 4. Now, this is very important. When you go to the second number, you have to put a 0 here. And the reason for that is you are not going to multiply by 1. You are going to multiply by 10. So we put that 0 there to compensate for that. Then you're going to say 1 times 3, which is 3. 1 times 1, which is 1. And 1 times 2, which is 2. Then we are going to add these numbers together. Now, before we carry on, it's very, very important in this step to make sure that you put your 0 under the units. And then you start filling in from the tens, the hundreds, and the thousands. That is very important. At this stage, you will add up the numbers. So 6 plus 0 is 6. 2 plus 3 is 5. 4 plus 1 is 5. And 0 plus 2 is 2. So 213 times 12 will be 2,556. I'm going to show you another example with a double-digit number. And then I will show you one with a 3-digit number. So randomly, let's go 324 times, let's make it 23. Again, we use the column method. 324 times 23. Very important to have our units underneath each other and our tens underneath each other. Like the first time, we will say 3 times 4, which is 12. So I will put the 2 and I will carry the 1. Then I will say 3 times 2, which is 6, plus the 1 is 7. Then I will say 3 times 3 is 9. Now remember, when we go to the second number, I must put a 0 under the units. Remember, it's because I'm not multiplying by 2. I'm actually multiplying by 20 because it's 23. Then I will say 2 times 3, which is 8. 2 times 4, which is 8. 2 times 2, which is 4. And 2 times 3, which is 6. When I'm at that stage, I will add these numbers up. Again, it's very important to remember to keep your units, tens, hundreds, and thousands underneath each other. 2 plus 0 is 2. 7 plus 8 is 15. You put the 5 and you carry the 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. Plus 4 is 14. You put the 4 and you carry the 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. Now that's the most important thing is when you go to the second number, remember to add your 0 under the units and then do the rest exactly the same. I am going to show you one where you multiply a 3-digit number at the bottom. So if we take something like 400. Let's take a 0 just so I can show you how that works. 407 times, let's make it 13. We need 331. So let's say it's 407 times 131. Again, it's very important. Units under units, hundreds under hundreds, and so on. So firstly, we will say 1 times 7, which is 7. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 4 is 4. Now, when I go to the second number, I will put a 0 under my units. Then I will say 3 times 7 is 21. So I'll put the 1 and I'll carry the 2. Then 3 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. 3 times 4 is 12. So I will put 12. Then when I go to my third number, I will need 2 placeholders because I'm not multiplying by 1, I am multiplying by 100. So 1, and there's my 2 zeros. Again, very important that my first 0 is under the units and that my second 0 is under the tens. Then I will multiply with the third number. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 4 is 4. Again, you'll see when we multiply it with 2 numbers, you will be adding 2 numbers together. When we are multiplying with 3 digits at the bottom, you will add 3 numbers together. 7 plus 0 plus 0 is 7. 0 plus 1 plus 0 is 1. 4 plus 2 is 6. Plus 7 is 13. So you will put a 3 and you'll carry a 1. 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 0 is still 3. And 1 plus 4 is 5. So therefore, 407 times 131 will be 53,317. There's just a few things I want to remind you of before I finish off. If you are multiplying by a 2-digit number at the bottom, you're going to add 1 0 in the units column. Because you're not multiplying by 2, you will be multiplying by 20. When there are 3 digits at the bottom, you will first add the 1 0 when you are multiplying with the middle number, and then you will add 2 zeros when you are multiplying by the third number. Once you have done that, you will add these numbers together, and that will give you your answer. I hope that was useful. Let me know what you think.